political stories, as you said, legends are political stories, and we have seen that there is a urgency and there is a desire to create a certain kind of political stories and narrative in India, and which has probably historically affected certain parts of the country. We see that characters are only from a particular area. Even in your mythology, if we look at all the top characters that we know of, they are from, say, mostly from North India. Do you think that regional disparity or an uniform narrative is not a current problem, but a very mythological, historical problem?
See, 50% of India lives in the Gangetic Plain. So most of the votes come from the Gangetic Plain. So gods also live in the Gangetic Plain. Mathura is in the Gangetic Plain, Kashi is in the Gangetic Plain, Ayodhya is in the Gangetic Plain. So nobody cares for Kerala unless there's a controversy. I remember being in Rajputana, a Rajput state, and the Rajputs were talking about how Rajputs are not treated properly. So I asked them, so do you know about Gajapati? And they said, no, ye Gajapati kaun hote hain? So I said, acha, so you expect me to know all the stories of Rajasthan and Rajputana, but you know nothing about Odisha. You know nothing about Gajapati. I said, have you heard of Indradumna? Have you heard of Prataprudra? Have you heard of Kakatiyas? Have you heard of the Pala kings, the Sena kings, the Ahoms? And he looked blank. And a few minutes before that, of course, he was talking about Hindu civilization, Hindu civilization. But Hindu civilization in their minds is Hindi civilization. And even there it is Gangetic. 50% of the votes, no sir. The rest of India don't matter. We will earn money so that they will spend the money. And that's the way the story goes. The gods are also North India. We never talk about the gods of Maharashtra. Vithala. We never talk of Srinathji. We never talk of Tirupati. We never talk of the rest of India. Kamakhya. Vishnupur temples. The rest of India is not there. So that's the big thing, because when they say, "Aapko Hindi nahi pata hai," so I say, "Tu Marathi madhe bolna." So no, why should I speak in Marathi? I said, I am an Odia who speaks Marathi because I live in Bombay. Why should I not speak in Marathi? Why should I not speak in Odia? Why should I not speak in Bengali? Why should I not speak in Assamese? Why Hindi? I don't know which language the gods spoke. They say, "Nahi, wo Bhagwan to Sanskrit bolte the." I said, "Tumko kaise pata? श्री कृष्ण तो ब्रजभाषा बोलते थे. ब्रजभाषा बोलते हैं वो. All the poetry of Krishna is written by Chandidas, Vidyapati. Then I said, have you heard of the Tamil Krishna? Have you heard of Perumal? Nahi pata. They know nothing. Zero understanding of South, East, West. Everything is Mughal Rajput, Mughal Rajput, Mughal Rajput. And I'm like, oh God, please, thank God Mani Ratnam is making a film on Cholas.
He is making a film on Cholas, but we have just seen a movie on Prithviraj Chauhan.
We have seen?
India has seen.
I thought the theatres went empty, no?
That's what I wanted to hear. So, as you were saying that injustice has been done to, kind of injustice has been done to the east or south or other regions of the country. Now we are very hopeful because textbooks are being rewritten. So justice will be probably done. But at the same time, I'll quote another tweet of yours. You were saying that mythology, and this is for the next generation. So this is in the context of next generation. Like mythology, there is no true history. True history is propaganda and false history is mythology. You tweeted this for the next generation. You were saying that in future, for students, this will be the truth.
No, so let me clarify, because there are a lot of quotes, and when you write it, people... So step one, I never talk of injustice, because remember, injustice is not an Indian concept. This concept of justice, injustice, sin, original sin, apocalypse, 1,000 years of slavery, 100 years of slavery. Chinese have the story of 100 years of slavery. Indians have the story of 1,000 years of slavery. These ideas are based on a biblical structure. There is no injustice in the world. Nature takes care of everything. It sort of balances everything out. So it's the way nature is designed. But my tweet was this, that today historians are considered to be fiction writers. If you look at the history department, it's only a question of time before the history department will be headed by fiction writers. We are going in that direction, where if you're good at fiction, you could be the head of history department.
Are you indicating to any particular writer,
No.
author?
It's an idea. Ideas are far more important than people. As we know, civilization is more important, right? Shabd. So, you are genuinely telling people not to believe scholars. Panditon ki ninda ho rahi hai. Don't believe scholars, don't believe scholars, don't believe scholars. So you'll create a generation of people who don't believe scholars. And they will believe that fiction, and I know so many people who believe fiction as history. And they ask me questions and I'm listening to them and I'm like, Praman, Shabda Praman, Anuman. You know, Praman is a very big concept in Hinduism, if you to understand ki sach kya hota hai. And it's very complex ideas. But you have to respect scholarship. But we are in a generation where fiction writing will soon be the head of history. As a mythologist, I find it amusing because mythology is somebody's truth. It's not everybody, it isn't based on evidence. It is like whatever you say is true for you. Why do you believe in this? Why do you not believe in this? So, mythology does not care for fact and fiction. It doesn't care. It just says, what do you believe in? If you believe there is God, there is God. If you believe there is Hindu Rashtra, there is Hindu Rashtra. If you believe that everybody in India should speak Hindi, that's your belief. Because when I believe you, I can have a conversation with you. I don't argue, because argue is fact and fiction ki dunya is vivad wali dunya, where I am right, you are wrong. I am right, you are wrong. And jiske haath mein talwar hota hai, wo hamesha sahi hota hai. Your boss is always right. Right? Because he has the power to take away your employment. Right? We know that. I can raid your house. I can put you in jail. So whatever you say is the truth. Right? The truth is determined like that. So mythology recognizes this. Mythology recognizes the stories change over time. That Christianity today is the result of the Roman Empire. Not because of Jesus Christ. It's because the Roman emperors became Christian. So Jesus Christ didn't create Christianity. Roman Empire created Christianity.